What's up, everyone? Welcome to LV Sports Network. It's your buddy JWebb, and we've got a very special guest in studio today. We've got Vegas Dave. What's going on, friend?
Busy weekend for me. I'm doing well.
Now, you mentioned the busy weekend. It's a busy weekend for Vegas, but there's kind of a dark cloud starting to spin around the city. Tell us a little bit about your interpretation. We'll get into some of the specifics, but what are your thoughts on just the pandemonium that's come with UFC 200?
I mean, it's their biggest event. A lot of big fights, big marquee matchups, and then the Jones fight falls out because he couldn't pass a drug test, and now the Miesha Tate fight's now the main event. It's just a lot of turmoil. There were some upsets yesterday, so I mean, this event's huge for Las Vegas. It's in the new T-Mobile Arena, so it's just great for the city.
Have you seen anything over there, whether it be a concert or a show or anything?
No, they've been trying to get me to get in there, but this will be the first time I'm actually going.
JWebb and Vegas Dave are the only two people who haven't seen anything there. It's crazy because we're usually at a lot of things. So you mentioned Miesha. What's your take on that fight? Are you excited about it? Do you have any money out there on it? What's going on with that?
I mean, I got the biggest wager I've ever placed in my life. I bet $1 million on her.
Ever. We saw that you gained a lot of notoriety by winning big amounts, but this is actually the largest amount you're laying down?
Yeah, so in the past I've laid over $100,000 on the Royals to win the World Series and the Broncos, which cashed out $2.5 and $2.3 million, but I've never laid down $1 million cash on a bet, and I laid $1 million on her at minus 250. So it's the biggest wager in sports that you can see on a ticket ever. So I have a lot of anxiety right now.
Well, you mentioned anxiety. That brings me to my next question. Does that mean that this is the most confident bet you've ever laid?
In a way, yes. I can't say that now because you always second-guess yourself when it gets closer to the matchup. But, yes, I'm confident in her. I mean, $1 million is a lot of money, and I was fortunate enough to allowed to come watch her train last week in her last sparring session. Extreme Couture invited me in, and we saw her beating up guys. So
Is there a lot of insight that you go when you're watching training, or like we see people scouting football teams and all that stuff? Are you doing that with fighters?
A little bit, but not as much. I mean, I'm very
more an invitation, right?
Yeah, I'm more intuitive and go by my gut. I'm a gambler, so I go by feel.
Yeah.
Plus, in this fight, Miesha's more battle tested. She's fought Holly once. She's fought Ronda Rousey twice. She has, I think, 20 more fights under her belt, and I just think Nunes is a great fighter, but she's not a champion like Miesha. But in fighting, anything can happen. I predicted Holly Holm to beat Ronda Rousey, huge upset, and then I had Miesha over Holly for record payouts. Now I'm going to try to break those records with this $1 million bet. So it's always, the underdog could win. The last two underdogs won. This time Miesha's the favorite, but I'm sticking to my guns, and I believe she's going to get it done tomorrow night.
Well, you've won a lot of bigger payouts, and I know some of them it's because they're futures, but is the real money in taking the dog? A lot of people will tell you never bet in a fight, you never bet the favorite because there's no money in it. Obviously, she is the favorite now, that's why you had to lay so much, but typically are you just looking for those upsets that others aren't seeing?
Typically in the past, yes. But you know what? Miesha's always been an underdog, and she opened up as a favorite, which was a sign for me that the odds makers know that she's going to win because Miesha's always pretty much 90% of the time been a dog.
Yeah.
Now she's a favorite, not like a 120, a 150, but she's a 250 favorite, which is a decent-sized favorite, which was the first sign for me to lean that way. Plus, she's an all-around, she's a great fighter, and now that she has Gifford in her corner, her striking's been a lot better. And her ground game is strong, and she's just an all-class wrestler. I just think all around she's a better fighter than Nunes.
Now, you are a sports fan. It's not just that you're a gambler. It's not only instinct. You have knowledge of the games, and you follow them closely. Do you see any, and obviously you laid all that money, but is there any concern? Does the anxiety come from now that she's got it? There's, because you're usually looking for the person trying to take it away.
Uh-huh.
You're pretty confident, though, she's going to hold on?
I'm pretty confident, but you understand in fighting it's difficult. It's just one punch and you're done, but I just think as long as Miesha doesn't make a mistake, she's going to win this fight. Nunes is not trained to go 5 rounds, and I really believe in my heart Miesha gets this done. I've been wrong before, but I've been right many more times in my career, and I believe I'll be right again this Saturday.
And one thing you talked about as being wrong, we see another big guy who puts a lot of bets out, Floyd Mayweather. Now, he's not usually as honest, I would say, about whether he hits or not or what he hits or not. Do you see that you're treated the same way as some of the other big bettors in town when it comes to sports books?
Absolutely not. I have a press release coming out Sunday about me being banned from pretty much every sports book in Vegas. The Westgate was the biggest sports book. They banned me. All MGM properties banned me. William Hill was taking the biggest bets for me. I had them for a couple $1 million in baseball the last month. They banned me. They cut me a final check for $700,000 and said we're done. And Cantor is where Floyd bets at, the Palms, the M. They'll take up to $1 million from him, but I can only bet $20,000 there.
And they've tracked some of your people as well, right?
Yeah. One thing about Cantor, I can bet $20,000, but I can't bet parlays and I can't bet round robin. So they cut out all my advantages. And William Hill and Westgate, because I have about 7,000 players that follow my picks, they subscribe to my packages. They got cut off too, and they're only betting 100 to 500 a game because they could track that they're following my picks. So, Vegas really doesn't want me betting here anymore.
Well, and that's the thing. The house always wins, right? So are we seeing just blatant proof that they're only going to let you play the game if you're going to lose?
Yeah, Vegas loves losers. They hate winners. That's why there's a casino built in every corner in Vegas because of
every
losers.
Gas station, essentially.
Yeah, they want, and when you win, they kick you out.
Exactly.
And at first I was really upset, but at the end of the day, I'm a rational person. It's a business. The casino's here to make money. They're not here to lose money, and they do have the right at the end of the day to turn down business. It just sucks, that, what happened in the days where you could walk into a Vegas casino, bet whatever you want on any other game. If I wanted to bet $400,000 tonight on Cole Hamels on the Rangers, no one will take it.
But they would let my buddy, who's a great poker player, go and take money from tourists playing poker. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So if it's the house money, it's off limits, of course. But so what's the future hold then for you when they finally do take away all your opportunities?
I mean, they pretty much already have. I mean, I'm limited just to play straight bets at $20K. Can't hit.
Then you just rely on your subscribers?
Yeah, my business is growing tenfold. I'm at about 7,000 players right now, and that's good enough residual income every single year from football and baseball. And I just started a UFC package. Allows me to travel and have more quality time for myself and my family. But I mean, I'm a smart guy. They took away all my advantages. You can't. It's hard to beat them in general. But you can't beat them when they take away parlay
when
options.
They're changing the rules.
I have special rules just for me.
Yeah.
Anybody else can bet a parlay, but I can't. It's
Crazy.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned UFC. Let's wrap up with UFC 200. I know we've talked on some of the bigger fights. Do you want to throw out your take on John Jones' replacement?
I mean, anything can happen, but he should. I mean,
do you think it's okay that you suspend a guy for using performance enhancers, then you replace him with a known convicted performance enhancing user?
Well, Silva's clean right now, so it's that right now when they test him, he's clean, so he should have the right to fight. I mean, Cormier should kick his butt, but anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Is it kind of like the A-Rod? Oh, well, he's clean now.
Yeah.
So we'll let him hit home runs now.
Same thing. But they needed someone to step up, and they would take anybody. And Silva wanted the shot, so they gave it to him. I mean, it's going to be a great card, and fortunately now Misha's the main event, so it's just more anxiety. It's going to be at 9:30 p.m. She'll be walking down that aisle, so. That's the only fight I'm focused on. There's other fights I'm looking at. There's a fight tonight. I really like Gray Maynard tonight. I think Maynard is my second best pick. He's only minus 160. I also like Dilawar on Saturday as well. As far as the female fights, the other one, I kind of like Kat Zingano in that fight. But my top two picks are obviously Misha Tate, and then my second pick would be, which is very, very low juice at minus 160, Gray Maynard tonight.
Excellent. So we've got the weekend covered, but we've talked in the past, me and you personally, about futures, and I watched the baseball standings fluctuate and go, oh, that's what Vegas Dave said. What do you like for futures? Any baseball, any other sports that we should be on the outlook for?
I mean, I told you guys last time after I won
the Rangers?
After I won the Royals World Series and the Broncos, I told you before the season started.
You told me Cubs next year, Rangers this year, correct?
Yep, I said the Cubs. I said the Cubs are 2 years away.
Yep.
Same with the Astros. The Rangers are going to win the World Series this year, and everyone laughed at me. They're 25-1 odds. I got them good at William Hill. So
nice.
If they win the division, and they're 7 games up now, I win $1 million.
Wow.
If they win the American League pennant, I win another $500,000. And if they win the World Series, I'll win another $2 million. So I could scoop $3.5 million. No matter what, they're going to win the West. So I'll scoop $1 million from them. All they need to do is pick up 2 more arms in the bullpen and 1 more starter, and they're fine. They've been playing with injuries all year round. Prince Fielder's been the 8th worst hitter in all of baseball, and they still have the best record in the American League.
And all you got to do is make the postseason.
Yep.
And it's all up in the air from there, right?
I mean, I win $1 million no matter what, as long as they win the division.
Wow. Wow. So we've talked about why some of the hate from the casinos. It's really just that you're giving them good bets, right? And they don't like to lose. So I know personally you like to sit. We've talked before about you just kind of like the Dale Earnhardt thing. You can't go out when you're Dale Earnhardt, so you build a really nice club in your house. You've kind of done the Dale Earnhardt thing, right? But you are going to get out and about. Tell everyone where we can see you, maybe even up on TV at some of the upcoming cool events around the country.
Usually when I have this kind of money, I like to watch it with my family and share that moment with my family. But UFC 200 is huge. I bought floor seats for me and my girlfriend. It costs about $35,000. So we will be third row floor seats. And then Monday, we'll be at the All-Star Game in the Home Run Derby. We got front row seats right behind the American League dugout, which was another $40,000. So we're looking at about $70,000, $80,000 in just tickets.
Write-off, right?
Yeah, business expense. So I'm going to be out and about, and then I'm hosting Sunday at Daylight. Me and Misha are doing an event Sunday at Daylight at the pool party.
Well, let me just throw something out there, not to make it awkward, but what if she loses? We saw what happened to Ronda Rousey. Do all those events get canceled?
No, she's going to win, so
it doesn't even matter. It's a moot point.
She's going to win, yep.
Excellent. Well, we always like talking to you, and to remind people where they can follow you, whether it's Instagram, Twitter. I know you're big out there in social media. Let us know where they can get you or where they can subscribe to your picks.
Yeah, my picks, very simple. Go to www.itsvegasdave.com. Again, www.itsvegasdave.com. Social media, Instagram and Twitter at It's Vegas Dave, and then my Facebook fan page is just Vegas Dave.
Vegas Dave again here, bringing you insight on UFC 200 and more.